This podcast is brought to you by Breakfast House.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello and welcome to the Tables Podcast. We are your hosts, Jay Rodriguez.
Cat.
And Pepper Rivera.
And you're listening to episode number
4. This is the one that breaks the curse. This is the curse breaker.
4.
I've been my job is kind of a freelance thing, so I've been out of work like crazy. This check is gonna be super lean. Like I'm barely gonna.
This check is fit, dude. It's been working out. It's slimming down.
It's just gonna be slim as fuck, dude. Usually that shit's fucking. It's not a lot, but it's like it's enough for me to be like, okay, I can buy something cool.
I can buy toilet paper.
Yeah, like
something cool.
Boring shit, but no, yeah, but this month is gonna be a little fucking. I'm gonna be.
I was anticipating
suffering.
I was anticipating that, and like, dude, I starved myself for a week. Just
Yeah.
So I could like hibernate.
I
had to buy the Pokemon game.
I did opposite things.
I had that stacked on top of like that week of not being paid. So
I did the opposite. I bought speakers and got myself in debt, which was a bad idea. No, I mean, it was okay. Because I figured, getting myself in debt will put me, make me work more.
That or...
give up on life.
No, just not buy other shit like food.
Yeah, that's true.
I did. Live off of top ramen.
Yeah, the fucking college diet.
You lose that.
Sometimes I feel if I have a big enough check, I can spoil myself.
Yeah, that's what I felt like.
I worked overtime, so I got that's why I got this tablet, the Kindle Fire. It's not what I really wanted in a tablet, but it gets the job done.
Can't you return it?
I could.
Can I see it?
I think, but I mean, it's okay. It's pretty nice.
True.
But it does suck.
It's not over the top like an iPad. The only things I don't like about it is that the wallpaper isn't customizable.
It
stays
gray.
No.
It's an advert. It's like the worst of it is an advertisement.
It's advertisement.
The thing I just saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your wallpaper. Permanent wallpaper.
Like as soon as you turn it on, it's always like, oh, new on Amazon, fucking this show that you can watch on Amazon Prime, or we have deals on watches today.
It's constantly selling shit.
Yeah. Even if it's offline, like.
Did you look that up?
Yeah, I looked up if you can customize it or how to, and it really isn't unless you root it, and I don't really want to do that right now.
Right. Root it, you meaning like fucking pirate.
Yeah.
You can change this though, right?
I don't know, I haven't tried, but that's simple and kind of cool. I have went and got fucking third-party apps and shit.
Yeah.
Like since it's not through Google Play, but it's it has Android running through it or something.
Mm.
And it gets all its apps from Amazon, which they buy off Google Play. So they have the same shit, but just not as much. Like it didn't have Instagram, so I had to download that from third party, like the APK file.
So everything's third party,
not everything. I only got 2 things, Instagram and some other shit.
But I mean, you couldn't get Instagram through normal means on this.
No.
What?
If I go to the store, they didn't have it. But I do like that I can read all my books, my fucking comic books, any movie file.
Yeah.
Like AVI, MP4.
It reads it.
Yeah, it's like VLC.
Sweet.
I downloaded VLC the other day and that shit gave me a fucking virus, dude.
Well, that's because you're not supposed to install everything that comes in that package.
Was I telling you about it?
Really? It gave you a virus?
Yeah, you told me about it when I went to the school.
I guess I'll tell Eric. So I was getting ready to download it, and I'm just used to clicking accept, because I'm thinking it's like anything else that's trustworthy, but because everyone was telling me to get it. But this one, I'm clicking accept, and then I see the advert for MacKeeper, and I'm all like, oh, what the fuck, MacKeeper? So of course I click decline, and then I click decline on the next one that it tries to get me to buy. But at that point, I'm guessing that I had already accepted one of them. because I probably didn't recognize it, but I did recognize MapKeeper. And then as soon as I was done, it like shut down my Firefox, which it wasn't supposed to do because I wasn't on Firefox anymore. And then I got like a low-key virus, and it changed my fucking my home screen on my Firefox and on my internet browsers. I got rid of it, but
I thought Mac couldn't get any viruses.
That's what I thought.
No, I knew they get viruses, but there's just not too many of them. Like MacKeeper is an obvious virus that if you have a Mac, you know that it exists, but there's not too many of them. You know.
What the fuck is that MacKeeper? I always see it.
It's just like a
fucking virus.
Quotation virus protector, and yeah, it's a fucking virus, dude. You know that shit.
Yeah.
Anything that like advertises itself that heavily, anything, no matter what kind of fucking OS you have, it's a fucking. It's a virus.
Yeah, that shit comes up whenever you're doing shit you're not supposed to.
MacKeeper. Hey, yeah, you know you might need this. Looking at you, Jizz. MacKeeper.
Child porn? We might need this.
Yeah.
Hey, I see that you're browsing child porn.
I don't think it's very smart for you to Google child porn.
Maybe you might want MacKeeper.
You might want the MacKeeper search engine. We'll keep that safe for you.
What is like the end game for video games? Like
the
what?
End game?
Yeah,
What
like
do you mean by end game?
I don't know. Like it's the same way I think about video games, the way I think about people working out. Like once you go, you work out.
Well,
There should
then
be
you're
like a
thinking about it
fucking
the
sign
wrong
that
way.
says like you're done, dude. Go home.
No, you're thinking about it the wrong way then.
Whenever you feel like you're bored, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Whenever
Yeah,
you.
it's just entertainment. Like it's like watching a movie.
That's like saying what's
Yeah.
the end game for movies.
Yeah, that's
What's the end
exactly what I
game for
just
music?
said. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
what's the end game of going to the theater? Like you just got some fucking movie experience, some knowledge maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean.
I've learned a
You
lot.
just saw
of shit from
someone's
games and
creative.
shit.
No.
Creative content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of vocabulary words from fucking Pokemon and shit. Like parcel. I know what a parcel means.
Parcel.
I didn't know that until like I started ordering shit offline,
Yeah.
and they give you the fucking notification.
Your parcel is arrived.
Yeah. No. When you're not there to get it, and they
Alright.
leave you like, oh, we'll try again tomorrow, or you can pick it up at your earliest convenience. With and then it checks parcel. I was like, the fuck is parcel? I didn't order that.
I have like Pokemon Red in
Mhm.
Spanish, and then I learned that Arañazo was scratch.
Arañazo.
Arañazo. Ninja. Arañazo. Charmander.
You didn't get very far then, because that's like the first move he learned.
Gave up on Spanish after that.
The fuck this?
I did go watch the Hunger Games on, what was it, Saturday? Saturday, I
saw
went
it
to
too.
watch it.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. I thought you meant like just the Hunger Games in general.
You know what? Speaking of Hunger Games, I saw it last night,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw it at LA Live.
You saw it twice?
Saw it last night.
I saw it last night at LA Live, and I saw it at 9, so I got out at like 12. I walked out at 12, and then, you know, the stupid Ferguson things happening. There's motherfuckers in the street just protesting.
Oh, last night,
Last
right?
night,
Yeah.
And I was right there, just like, oh shit, I just saw the Hunger Games, dude. I can run with these people. But they were so dumb. It was like, they were like 100 people deep just in the street at 12 o'clock at night. The
Yeah,
worst
yeah.
time to protest. There's no one to, like, influence at that
Yeah,
time.
there's
but
no one to
me
back
walking
you up,
the
and you're
fucking-
just like right there. I seen on the news today, like clips and shit from that
Last
they were
night-
filming,
Yeah.
and just dumb people fucking jumping on moving cop cars and shit,
Oh,
and just
wow.
standing there like they're hard.
It was-
Like 10
was-
seconds later, they got tackled down and like arrested. And
Yeah,
shit.
it wasn't even that cool. Like, I was there, and they were literally just walking in circles around, like 7th and Fig, just walking around the Staples
Yeah.
Center block, like a couple times. They lapped
'Cause-
that like
'cause-
twice, and then I'm like waiting for the bus, and then I get on the bus, and they're like in the way, and I'm like, fuck, dude.
Did they start shaking the bus? Like
No, they didn't
rocking
do
it and shit?
anything, dude. They were like
Peaceful
they were,
protesters.
no, not even peaceful. They were like, you can tell they were trying to get like tear gassed, but it was like
They were trying to
yeah.
get tear
If
gas.
it was like 100 people deep, and I don't know what the number is, but apparently they had more arrests here last night than at Ferguson's protest when they fucking rioted and did all that stupid shit.
Crazy.
They had more arrests here.
And yeah, 100 people was not a lot. Looking at them in the street, it was not a lot of them. Like, they were no force to be reckoned with.
Are you ever curious, like, how do they find out that they're, like, that's the spot?
You know what? I was actually, before I saw the movie, I was like walking towards LA Live, and there's like a guy like late to the rally, and he's like running, and he has like his big giant monster advertisement sign, just like this one I have in my
Yeah.
room. And on the backside, it's all like written on and stuff. And these ladies are like on the phone, where is it? And then I get out. I get out of the movie theater and I see the rally over there. There's like 100 people walking this way. And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to go that way because I'm a person of color and I'm not trying to get hit. So I walk the other way. And then there's a group of 12 people in the streets linked by arms. And then they're all like walking in the street and the cops are like right there in the same like fashion. They're walking towards each other. Damn. And they try to go around them. The people try to go around them, and they're all like, "Oh, we're just a civilian." And this one cop gets all, he has like his baton, and he's all like ready, dude. He's like ready to hit somebody. I was like, oh, I swear, if they hit this girl with the green hair, I'm gonna be so happy because she looks the stupidest.
Damn.
And they all have like their stupid like Guy Fawkes masks.
Did they?
They're We Are Legion people.
Really?
There was like 2 We Are Legion signs. I saw a couple masks. They weren't like massively like that. Like the bulk of them weren't like that.
Yeah.
But it was enough of that to make me go,
It's
so is that where it came? Did it come
annoying.
from like 4chan and like all those people?
No, I don't think so. I think
those dudes organize protests really well though.
They do, but this one you can tell. I wouldn't associate that with them because it was so late at night. Like, no protest is effective that late at night, dude.
They're probably just people that know the community of 4chan and know all that shit, so they just, like, that's the way they protest?
I wouldn't even say that. I just feel like they saw the movie, like, and then they're on Facebook and they see that that's what people do at protests, and then that's what they did, you know? But,
not if they say We Are Legion. Then that's kind of, like, more specific.
I guess. But didn't they say that in the movie?
No.
They didn't?
Oh. Well, it's because it's only one dude. And he made his mask. He didn't have to fucking buy it. That's a stupid thing about those fucking masks is that, like, you know, anti-corporation, anti-all this shit, but, like, somebody had to make those fucking masks, you know? And who fucking made it? Look on the back of it. Where'd you buy it? Target? Like, what the fuck, you know?
It's made in China, actually?
I know, but, like, where'd you buy it? You bought it at a comic book shop. Like, comic books are fucking corporate as hell, you know? Doesn't it get more fucking corporate than Disney? Like, what?
Marvel. But yeah, I thought that was coming out of the Hunger Games. Seeing that was kind of
it good?
Coincidentally, I haven't seen the first 2 movies, but but it was for seeing that movie, it was good, but it was very cheesy. Like I found points of it cheesy, but it was a good kind of cheese. But cheese isn't ever good, but it was cheesy in the best way possible. But the movie was overall, it was good.
I fell asleep twice.
Really?
Unfortunately. Because I went to work on Saturday. I woke up early as hell, and my brother's birthday was the same day. So straight out of work, I go home, shower, get ready for the fucking party. We go over there and we have the party, and like, I have a few beers and that makes you fucking sleepy. And then I go to the fucking movies because we get out, we leave the party pretty early, like the sun was already down. But it was still like 7 or 6 because you know the fucking time change. So I tell Lizette, it's still kind of early.
Ago.
I know, but you know, fucking people
still suffering the effects.
Weeks into the time change.
And
day 12.
Day 12. Month 3.
The time is still not reverted back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still pretty.
And sleeping later.
I tell her it's still pretty early. There's a theater down the street. Do you want to go watch a movie? You're like, oh yeah, The Hunger Games just came out. We could go watch it. We go. I did fall asleep twice. Like I woke up and I got like woken up by fucking like boom, fucking like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, what's going on? That looks good. And I watch it for like another 20 minutes and fall asleep. The parts that I seen did look good. But also the parts I've seen compared to the last 2 movies, I don't think it was as good as the last 2 movies.
I saw
especially the second one. I thought the second.
It was really like recappy, like
because it continued from the second one. It was like it took off. It was part 2.
Yeah.
You know, I actually walked in there.
Like part 3, but part 1 of part 2. Yeah. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I walked in there thinking this was a second movie. That's how detached from the series I was, and they were all like, "This is the 3rd movie."
Yeah.
And then this is the part 1. So they're gonna have a part 2 of this 3rd movie.
Oh, I see. Oh yeah, I remember seeing them, and I thought they were really, really cheesy. But they were, like you said, they were good cheesy. I had to get over like the shitty effects, and then from the first one, and I watched the second one. I was like, it's okay. So, but I think it's one of those movies that I have to wait till it comes on. Like where I can download it or watch it on Netflix for me to enjoy.
It was like, having seen the Captain America movie, it was like watching Captain America.
How?
Because it was like full of the same kind of things, like propaganda, trying to like get people to rally together against an enemy, and just like, oh, we want to make this person a star, to like, it was just like that. We need the people to
I see. Yeah,
be behind this person, and that's the entire movie was that. The entire movie was that.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt it was kind of cheesy, because like parts of it were like relating to that propaganda, and it was just like, no, who would ever do that after seeing this? But whatever.
Like what? Like when?
I don't. Fucking spoilers. Like the part, how they made 2 specific videos, right? And she's like, the first one was like when they bombed like that hospital or something. And then now, do you like Hunger Games? So they bombed the hospital or something, and then she's all like worked up, like, this is what they do.
Oh, yeah,
if we burn, you burn. And then like they show a clip of like these soldiers somewhere else getting like rallied by like Star Troop people, and then like all of a sudden they have like a plan.
Yeah,
and then
parts of it was like they're making like
totally unrelated.
She goes out into like the thick of it so they can catch her, get her like realistic emotions and like how she feels towards what's happening, so she can speak out clearly her message to like everyone else, because when they try to script it sounded really dumb and really like just scripted.
Yeah, it was the point of the movie. Like, that was the point of the movie.
Yeah, and so I guess that if that's what you mean by cheesy.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't cheesy. It was cheesy that the fact that after each of those movies, they only made like 2 propaganda videos, and then the second one they like recorded her like singing, and then the next part you just see like these soldiers from anywhere else in the world, you don't know where, and they're just doing stuff, but they're like singing the song, and it's like, jeez, it was just
trying to force themes,
Yeah,
like,
and it was
about advertisement, I guess, that part.
Yeah.
I guess since I did fall asleep, I felt there was a lot less action, but the parts that I did wake up for, because there was action going on, I thought were pretty cool. Like when her and that dude like just shot down the plane. But that did kind of piss me off, because like, where did that dude learn how to be so badass? Like, this bitch went through like hell for like for 2 movies.
He
was just like kind of already there.
He had a special gun. You saw like the crossbow we had was very souped up.
Was it?
Yeah.
He had a crossbow, didn't he?
It had a scope. It had all types of shit that made it easy.
But yeah, she just had like a crossbow. But she did it. But
he just was holding it, actually. I don't think he ever shot it.
No, they both shot at the plane that they took down. Like,
really? I saw them both aim.
Right after they bombed the hospital.
Yeah. Her shoot.
I got 2 things to say. First thing is the time change thing. I totally still reference it. I'm like, oh, it's 7 o'clock. Oh, but it would actually be 8 o'clock. So that means I'm fucking like early. I always reference the other time. It makes me feel better. And the second thing is I watched 7 yesterday. That movie, 7?
7?
That movie about the 2 detectives, Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and they're trying to find a killer who's obsessed with...
that movie's great.
Fucking shit, it's so tight. Dude, David Fincher hasn't disappointed me with a film yet. Like... He's the guy that did Fight Club. He's the guy that did this one. He did Panic Room. He did what other? He did a bunch of really, really good stuff.
Who's the bad guy in that movie?
It's Kevin Spacey.
That's what I thought it was.
And he did House of Cards.
Yeah.
So like
David, I was thinking if he was the same person, or if the same bad guy on there was the same person from The Usual Suspects.
Yes, and it is.
It's the guy on House
and
of
it's the
Cards?
same performance.
Yeah.
It's like the same performance.
Yeah, where it's like kind of creepy.
Yeah, I'm creepy, but
and
I'm
like,
just...
I'm shy, and you
Kevin
would not
Spacey?
expect me to be the fucking enemy.
Right.
House of Cards is the one about the senator dude.
Yeah.
That guy?
That dude, yeah. Okay. He was like...
He does kind of play the same dude.
No, he doesn't.
Anytime I've ever seen him, it's like the same kind of... I'm done.
No, the House of Cards guy is like completely different from 7 or Usual Suspects.
I didn't see those, but I just see House of Cards, and I saw something.
It's the Kevin Spacey. I know what you're talking about, and I know what Jerry, you're talking about. He plays like this, like, I'm really mysterious. Either I'm really mysterious in the sense that like I'm confident, like in House of Cards, or I'm really mysterious and I'm dark, but I'm like, you can't really figure me out. Like I'm wimpy, like he was in 7. Like I'm just kind of like this very like what do you call it, like
You're doing like this flamboyant thing that.
No. I'm trying to.
He looks that way, but I know he's not.
Like just very
Just like
fragile,
unsuspecting,
unassuming, kind of fragile dude, but he's still dark. So I think but that's just like the Kevin Spacey, ingredient. But yeah, the movie was really good. And then I looked back at that guy's repertoire, David Fincher, and I was looking in the social media, all of it. Like, I haven't been disappointed by a film by him yet. I haven't seen all of them, so
I don't know. I'm not familiar with him to say I know.
Well, he did Fight Club. Did you like Fight Club?
I did like Fight Club.
And Fight Club looked a lot like Seven.
Yeah.
It was like green, always really green. And then he did. Did you like the social media?
The one about Facebook.
Yeah, social media. Yes. What is it called? The social network.
Social networks. Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Then he recently did Gone Girl. He did.
I have not seen it.
Did you like the girl with the dragon tattoo, the new one?
No.
No?
I didn't like it.
I did.
I swear every time I go back to a movie, all I can remember is like her being forced to like give that dude head.
Oh, dude, the part where she takes retribution and that's the worst. Have you seen that movie, Patrick?
No, I didn't really care for it.
You might like it. It's hard to tell because it's like.
I don't really like movies that are based on books. It's based on books.
Says the guy who watched Hunger Games just now.
I didn't want to watch it. That was my idea to watch it. I said I didn't see the first 2 movies.
But you love comic book movies.
I don't love comic book movies.
You like Spider-Man?
I like Spider-Man.
See, it's based off
of
a comic.
That just happens to be... Spider-Man's cool, but that's not my end-all. But yeah, there's outliers.
Until recently, we've gone to see every superhero movie that came out. Since we've known
Until recently, because the recent ones are
because
weak.
I thought just because they were being brought out like every fucking summer. And
I wouldn't count comics under books though.
They're books. Books are books, man.
I mean, and you can a newspaper is a book because it has pages and letters.
No, but it's a book.
Yeah, that's a newspaper, and a comic is a comic.
They have different.
Book,
they have different end games.
I don't like movies based off of novels. And if you need a word specifically, novels, because you guys are difficult.
I mean, I consider.
I'm not saying that.
No, you were
whatever.
Just now.
I'm just
Both
saying.
you guys are on the same.
What
boat.
I know, what I can reference is what we've done before, and you have like every Harry Potter movie.
Up until a point.
The fact you have one.
That's when I was a kid, dude. That's. I think I've grown up. My tastes have changed. My tastes.
Yeah, that was coming.
Dude, that was when that shit came out. What, when we were fucking 9?
Hey, they were good movies.
And I stopped watching them. I haven't seen the last couple. I mean, I want to see those though. But I mean, as far as Harry Potter was the first of a generation, dude. They were like, even though there's been a ton of movies based on books, that was like the first of, hey, let's do a series of things. That's where they get that. Now we have the Hunger Games, where it's like 4 of the same book. Now we have that movie, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
What about Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings, that came out second, didn't it? That came out after Harry Potter.
Do you like it?
No, I don't like Lord of the Rings.
You don't like Lord of the Rings?
No, we were talking shit about Smaug.
So what? But Lord of the Rings is like, that's a whole different trilogy.
We were talking shit about that because it was easy because we saw the other ones, and I
Actually, I don't even know why you were talking shit about it. You guys just kept making fun of that. He said, "There's Nation of Smoke," just because he said the name of the movie in the movie.
I can. Oh no, then you're talking specifically about Patrick because
Yeah, that's all I've heard because he says it. You laugh about it, and you just kind of
because we had that discussion in depth. I don't think we want to have that discussion again.
Man, and I have many points.
Yeah, I don't want to have that discussion.
I have many. And I explained them to you. Remember, I watched you that video.
Point is,
I'll tell you this much: like in the movie, they mentioned how to kill the fucking dragon, and the only way to kill the dragon, and they had this entire fucking scene about the black arrows. How there's only 3 left. And then they decided to go kill a dragon without those arrows. Which made the entire fucking trip pointless. Because they only said the only way to kill the fucking dragon was...
But he wasn't talking to the dwarves. He was talking to, like, the other dude. He was, like, retelling the story, but the dwarves were over there trying to, like, fucking steal weapons and shit.
They were listening. They were there.
Let's not talk about Smaug.
Yeah, let's not. Because...
Smaug.
I mean, there's enough distance now that I can't remember, a lot of details.
But he also didn't reveal that he had a fucking arrow.
He looked. They panned the camera, and there was one left. There was one left.
He fucking picked it up, and he was like, "Oh fuck, you fucking got one." When his kid was in there.
I don't want to watch the movie again, but I remember when I watched that, I was like, I locked onto that like a target, man. That shit just came. The movie came into focus for me. I was like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad.
But I do like Fight Club. But I don't know. I mean, if I end up watching a movie, I can like it. But I willingly won't watch a movie based off of a book. Like, I didn't want to see one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wolf of Wall Street? You like that?
Not Wolf of Wall Street.
But you like that movie.
That wasn't based off of a book. That was based off of a guy's life who happened to write a book. That was an autobiographical movie.
But the movie was based off the book.
But that's like an autobiography. That's different from different from fiction, though.
No.
It's not fiction. Even though it might be like a little bit like blown up, but it's still not fiction. Like when it comes to fiction and stuff, like, you know, just like a novel, that's an autobiography. Like let me lose my train of thought.
Oh, it's a memoir.
The other one, The Great Gatsby. That's the one I wanted to talk about. Like, I wouldn't want to see that.
It wasn't good.
It just looked retarded.
It wasn't good. It was too long and it wasn't good. What other movie is? Well, what about all the Stephen King stuff? He's like every single one of his books has become a fucking movie.
I like The Langoliers. That's like.
Did you watch The Shining? Did you watch Children of the Corn?
The Shining, I did not like The Shining. I mean, it was iconic, and I like that one part that everyone likes.
Oh, The Shining. The other so stupid.
Yeah,
I don't know why
weird.
people like it.
It's only like that one part that everyone likes.
It's really boring. What the like? Oh, here's
Johnny.
Yeah. And oh my god, that was stupid.
I don't know, something about that part. But
so many of his books have become movies. So you might have seen something and you're like, oh, I like this, and you didn't realize it was a book.
But I mean, like, Stephen King is great. I'm just talking about. I'm not trying to focus in on one person and then say, oh, what about that one movie? Oh, now your fucking whole fucking schematic math problem is fucked up. I'm just saying, in general, if it's a book about a movie, I don't really tend to want to watch it. And that sounds like one. I don't know. Just. I mean,
this whole time you've just said that we've been pinpointing which ones you don't want to watch, but why don't you want to watch?
Just don't. I'd rather look at the book or just. I don't want to watch something that's out of its medium.
What?
Because it's a book.
Well, you don't. But okay. Well, I think that I know what you're trying to say, and like it's like you. Don't. I think he's trying to say
because
that he'd prefer.
Movies. Like the people who wrote the book don't write.
It's like movies. It's like a bit of a loyalist kind of thing, in the sense that like he knows that the book was written in a specific form, and it only really shines in that form because it was intended to be in that form, like a book or like a comic.
I don't see it that way.
So for instance, it's like when they adapt like a movie to like a comic book, it never really works. Like it's like this is not good. Like that's why the Star Wars comics aren't good, and that's why the Dexter comics aren't good, because they were intended to something else, which is Alan Moore's point. Alan Moore's point is, I wrote The Watchmen for it to be a graphic novel, so when you experience the story, you're experiencing it the way I intended for you to experience it. Now, when you experience the movie, you're experiencing like someone else's interpretation of my idea. But my idea wasn't intended to be that. My idea was intended to be experienced as a movie. I mean, as a comic. That's why I wrote it as a comic, and I think that's what you're trying to say, right?
But even after all that.
No. But even if you. I think at that point, like, he has enough pull to be able to say, like, I want to write a movie, and he has, and they're weird, but like that, it's just that purest idea of like, my vision was for it to be this.
I don't know, and I know Patrick enough to, if you put it that way, I kind of understand.
Yeah, and like even after all that that Eric said, that's kind of true. But I'm still willing to watch a movie. I just won't be like, oh yeah, I want to go see this. I want to go see that.
Right, which is why you've seen movies that have been books, right?
Yeah, because like I just
you fall into them.
That's how like real fans are though. Like if something comes out, like you'll watch the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but I'm not a real fan of.
You go to the theaters to watch it.
Maybe that's why you've seen Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
No, I saw Spider-Man first, like on the TV show.
No, but that's why you enjoy watching the TV show or the movie, because you're a fan of Spider-Man. So whatever they come out with, you'll
might have been a video game.
Consume it.
I don't know, but that's apparently things always happen differently because Spider-Man's an extremely likable dude. But as far as like the girl with the dragon tattoo, I have no interest in that at all. Even for the movie, it could have been a movie, could have been a comic, could have been anything, video game. I just wouldn't have wanted to.
I know it went over my head too. I remember when it came out, and I kind of fell into watching it somehow, and then I really, really liked it.
Yeah, and if I end up liking something like that, then that's cool. But I just wouldn't willingly want to go. Let me go see this.
Just like Seven. Yesterday, I was trying to watch something interesting on Netflix, and I was like, the guy, and I wanted to watch a specific movie that David Fincher made. I forgot, but then I was like, I'm gonna type the dude's name in, and then certain movies appeared. It was like House of Cards came on, and then Seven was on. I was like, oh, let's watch Seven, because Zodiac was too long. I was like, Zodiac's like 3 fucking hours.
Zodiac's a good movie though.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen it, but we were like, it's too long. She was like, oh, what about this? Seven, it's a detective story, blah blah. I was like, all right, let's watch it. A normal movie length, and I was like, oh, I fucking love it. Everything's great about it, and I fell into it by accident. And now I know that like so far that dude, the director, he's been making movies that I enjoy. So I think I might keep watching some of his movies until I find something I don't like, and then just bitch about that one. But
and then, that's the time.
That's the fucking time.
This is where all the true fans like this stuff.
All right, this is like his like Metallica Black Album right here, like.
And then even with all that said, I still haven't seen the Godfather movie. I'm like planning on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, like I would want to watch that because I feel like because I've already read the book, and like there's nothing else to unless you want to read more books. But I'm kind of done with reading those books. Ugh. So now I'm at the point where I could, because I had no interest in The Godfather. Like I never wanted to see that.
Right.
But now that I read the book, I'm like, oh, okay, let me do that. And I've never ever fallen into the Godfather movie.
Like I said, like when Eric explained that that's why you might not want to watch these movies. I like I said, I didn't understand that, and I don't understand how you do it because I'm not like that. But you know, that's you. Because everything that I watch, and I notice that you do this a lot, you pinpoint things and you try to make it match with other things. Like when you were complaining about Ryan Reynolds coming out in like something, and then you just always saw him as the other movie you saw him in, and like how I explained to you that it's really easy for me just to see Ryan Reynolds, and instead of the character he played before, like I can just see him playing this person. But as soon as he comes out in another movie, I just completely forget about that person. I detach him and just watch him in his new performance and see how he comes out.
I can't do
and
that.
that's how I do with anything. Like if I watch a movie, even if it's based off a book, I just detach it and I think of it as the same idea, but it's just someone's retelling and it's like someone's different version, and I want to know both versions. So it's like watching a double ending to a movie.
I guess so. But I know for the actor thing, it's kind of like when I see someone's face, I get to know their face, and I feel like they're like my homie. Kind of like all those James Franco and Seth Rogen movies. Like you see their face so much, it's like, oh damn, I like those guys. Let me see what they're up to. Mm-hmm. And then you know, how, like all their movies are kind of the same. They act the same. Like Seth Rogen is like the same dude. So I have to like with him. He's like one of the examples I can use where it's easy to understand how he's kind of low key the same person in every movie. You know?
Well, that's the thing about like actors. They don't want to get pigeonholed.
That's true, but wait,
he
what
kind
you
of
say?
is.
I'm saying that's the thing that like most actors are wanting to avoid. Like we were talking about Edward Norton last week. Like he doesn't want to get pigeonholed into this role, and I can see a guy like him because he's the kind of dude that takes like the craft seriously. Like if you compare Edward Norton, who's like a method actor, he's the kind of dude that is like if his role is gonna be about a crack addict, he'll try crack just to see what it's like, so he can play an honest performance. That's
kind of his character in Birdman. You don't know if he's really like that.
What do you mean?
Like
you kind of described his character in Birdman, and that's what I think he's thinking about. It's like I said, like Patrick pinpoints something and then
what you said about Edward Norton
connect it to something else.
What you said about Edward Norton would be something like the character he played in Birdman would do, like the character.
Yeah, which is maybe why they got him to play that role because he's.
That, though. You know nothing.
No.
You know nothing about Edward Norton.
No, I know. No, I know that he's
always like.
I know
to connect things, but
wait, I wanted to finish this thought.
No, by looking at his career of films, you can kind of tell that about him.
No, and he says it all the time. He's like, he's a method actor, and that's what that is. Being a method actor is the kind of person that like does that. He'll put himself through certain things. Like I think Christian Bale's like that too.
Yeah,
I guess if they said this shit, then okay.
Yeah. As opposed to someone like fucking Megan Fox who doesn't really try. She just wakes up and they call her on the phone like, hey, we need a sexy bitch.
If you want Megan Fox, you call Megan Fox.
Yeah, and then she'll do her thing. And that's why when they picked her as April O'Neil, I had a fucking problem because I was gonna have the exact same thing that you have, Patrick, where it's like I'm not gonna see April O'Neil. I'm just gonna see Megan Fox trying to be a character.
Hey, Megan Fox with the fucking yellow.
As opposed to getting like a fucking unknown or like a good actress who's like really trying to be good or whatever, someone that no one hardly knows or kind of knows. And then they put her in that role. For instance, like the new role that I don't know if you probably heard about this. The girl that they got to play Robin in the new movie, the Batman vs Superman movie.
You got a girl for Robin?
Yeah, it's just cool. Like Dark Knight, because it's in the story. The guy's ripping off like the Dark Knight Returns. So in the Dark Knight Returns, there's a girl. Yeah, but they got a girl that like no one hardly knows. Like I'm sure people know about her. I didn't at least, and then I saw her and I was like, okay, but they didn't get fucking like Miley Cyrus to do it, So I see what your point is.
Yeah, and like bringing it back, like Seth Rogen is one of those guys, but
he's pigeonholed himself by playing all stoner movies.
Like with good actors, I don't do that. Like with who's good? Like another. Let me go back to a bad actor that I feel is always the same. Like the guy who played in like Billy Madison, what's his name?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Like he's like always the same. And like since I have like this,
except when he's not.
Except when he's not. But
he
has enough movies that are the same. Yeah. And for me, everything's on
all the Happy Madison movies.
Everything's
are like
on
that.
a spectrum of like the worst to the bad. And like these people are all the way on the bad, and there's people all the way on the good. Like who's like a really good actor that you can just say like
Edward Norton.
Like Edward, let's throw Edward Norton over there. Well, I can see like every time I've seen Edward Norton, I take him as a different person. Even though I know him in other things. I always see him as a Hulk, but I can take him seriously in different roles.
American History X, like you believe it.
Yeah, exactly. And in Fight Club, I can take him something differently. But, when you have characters like Seth Rogen, I just can't do it. But then you have people that fall in the middle of that, like Ryan Reynolds.
Or Ben Affleck.
And it's like, well, for me, I have to like place them somewhere. I have to go, okay, I'm watching him, and if it feels like he's like the same dude I always see, then he starts sliding to the bad side. Or maybe if he's doing good, like Leonardo, I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio, he's been doing some, even though I never seen The Great Gatsby, every time I see him in movies like in Titanic or in The Wolf of Wall Street or in like other movies.
Leading man kind of role.
Yeah, he's always like changing. Like I feel like he plays his roles good. And I throw him over to the good side. And, like, there's a spectrum for me where people fall into either over here, over there, or somewhere in between.
It's interesting when they put
so much in between that, it's hard for them. It's hard for me to just go, ugh, I can't decide. Like, it's just, and then I get all mad about them.
Well, I don't know. You have a whole system, and I think you piss yourself off.
a lot of the things I think about are like that. I always put
because I don't. I have to see it first, see how it goes through, and then I decide if I like it or not. Well, if I watch a movie with Seth Rogen, and I know who Seth Rogen is, I know how his movies are, I know his comedy, and if I like, because I do like Seth Rogen, so I like his comedy, and I'll watch a movie with Seth Rogen because I expect to see a Seth Rogen film. But if I hear that he's gonna do something new, like he's gonna give me any like random thing that he might be in.
He's gonna be a fucking politician.
Okay, he's gonna be a politician. Well, let's see how this plays out as Seth Rogen being a politician. Will he be like a serious politician,
serious role?
Or is he gonna be fucking Seth Rogen again? I won't mind because I like Seth Rogen, and if he is a politician, I kind of want to see how he does that.
Here's a good example. Jim Carrey. He's one of those people that kind of fly back and forth for me. I really like him. Like I have he's all like positive in my book. But he kind of falls victim of the like Dumb and Dumber, where it's just like this funny dude.
Yeah.
But I feel like for him, like there he had one that was really different when he did, what was that movie, 23?
Yeah.
That was like the scenario for me just now with Seth Rogen, where he did something really serious, and when he did that movie, it was like for me.
Will Smith was like that for me with the Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, like where you go, oh, he did it seriously, and he did it seriously. Where I feel someone like Seth Rogen, like he would try and do that serious role, and then still end up being Seth Rogen.
Zach Galifianakis recently took a shot in Birdman. Like he would play something completely
and I
different.
thought he was pretty good.
I thought that was like refreshing.
I saw that, I would want to see him in other roles doing something different.
It's good to see when people. It's good to see It's good to see actors that you think that don't have range actually have range.
And that's why I don't really like Johnny Depp, because
he doesn't have a fucking range at all. Dude.
All the movies he gets, like the roles are really good, but they're always like conveniently the same for him, and I feel like he fits it so well that he's like on the good side of the spectrum, but in the worst way possible.
Because movies are made around him.
Yeah, and it's like, well, can you do something different?
He's done all kinds of stuff, but they're not as popular.
A lot of different shit.
It's
not as popular
because all this shit is different. Like fucking Scissorhand dude, and but
character actors.
He became too famous where he has a personality, as his characters, I guess.
Like Neil Patrick Harris.
And someone makes a movie and said, hey, I think fucking Johnny Depp would be good in this. So like you said, his movies are based around him. Like his new movie, I don't know what the fuck it's called, but he's like detective or something, but he's really funny looking, and like he has a like Dali mustache.
He's always like half silly.
Is it Yoga Hosers?
But it always
I don't know
on
what
the
it
serious
is.
side.
But he just seems like a Willy Wonka, Jack Sparrow type of person.
He can't shed the Jack Sparrow kind of thing.
For me, he can, but it's like he always does. Can. But he never does. Like he's like an outlier on this thing.
He fucking phones in his performances, dude. Like he's like not even present. Like when he did the Rum Diaries, it was like, oh come on. It's like always drunk. I know that story was involving drunk, even in the title, but like it's always might edit this out because I can't finish the sentence, but yeah, that one escaped me. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's just I agree with both of you. I don't really like him anymore.
What?
I don't think
I will
he said
probably
that.
watch anything that's Johnny Depp.
I don't.
Just because.
Remember?
I want,
We don't
like
watch
I said, I
Tuss
want to see
together,
what
right?
the fuck it- what
He
does
just
with
seems so fake. Like he was on the award thing and he was like pretend. I don't know if he was pretending, but it was really bad acting.
You know, on
when he
Halloween-
pretended to be drunk and he wants to
I
be.
don't think he pretended to be drunk. I think he was actually fucking drunk.
I think he wants to be a rock star so bad, but he just
Speaking
isn't.
of Rockstar,
Like he
I
wants to be
saw-
He
Keith
did wanna
Richards.
be- He did want to be.
Hold
a
on.
rockstar. That was his, like,
On Halloween, he was playing with Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, and he's such a bad guitar player. Why do they keep inviting him? You can tell, like,
that was a multiple thing.
huh?
That happened more than once. I only saw the Halloween.
No, he did it. They're always inviting him to play with stuff. Like he played with the Black Keys, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. This is the first time I ever seen him play guitar." And I put it on, and they fucking. You can tell the main guitar player. He slowed the fucking band down a lot. So, because you know when you're playing.
Yeah.
And like they ended up following him, and the song was they played "Gold on the Ceiling," and the song just went. The tempo dropped. It was just so slow, and it was really uncomfortable to listen to. And then you could hear him mess up all over the place, and he was just trying to play it off like he was super cool. And then, but I knew I was like, man, like this
As a
isn't.
musician,
It was just uncomfortable.
He
Like
played-
it almost make it
decently
seem like they
in
like
that,
turned off his. And then that mic, when he's doing the Beautiful People riff, the it's like all out of time.
Is
It's
it?
just, yeah.
I didn't think it was.
It is.
I felt like his phrasing was good.
I
felt
mean,
like-
I
I felt like for someone who's an actor doing something completely different, it was acceptable.
I always go in when I watch these videos. I'm like, man, I'm gonna like it. I don't go in there like talking shit. I was like, oh, might be good. This might be good because I've seen him do actual good play in other contexts, and it's been okay. But I don't know, man.
I mean, that's not his. I mean, I have no knowledge of his musical background, and like I didn't see that video where he was out of time. But I felt like for Marilyn Manson, he was just enough decent for me to go, okay.
I think it was because you could hear
opposite.
both guitars, and one of the guitars was fucking up, and the other one was actually in the band. So he's the one that was
looking
pushing
for another
everything
guitar. I
forward.
thought I only saw another bass, but I don't know. I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, I don't want to talk about fucking Johnny
Either.
Depp.
Can we end this thing with Pokemon questions or something?
Yeah, go for it.
We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, how long have we been doing it? 47 minutes.
47 minutes?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, I wanted to say this before Patrick talks about Pokemon.
Yes.
I went to a school. I just said I went to a school on Monday so we could record this video again. And as we're leaving, we record everything. We're leaving. We go to the food court, and everything fucking smells pretty good. I'm just like, oh, I'm fucking hungry. And we walk past the Subway, and there's I noticed her. She was alright looking, and we just kept walking. I didn't like stop and gawk or anything. We just kept walking, and Patrick has to make his way around the table to the left because she was on the right. I didn't know where he was going, but I seen that he had to like turn his head and really fucking like try to look back. And I was like, damn, was she that cute? So then I look back and he suddenly just says, hey, that dude has Pokemon. And I'm like, oh my god.
Damn.
Dude, I remember that. He specifically had Sapphire version.
Oh, the one you have?
No, I have Ruby.
But it was just that. I thought he was checking out a chick.
Yeah.
And he just
He's
goes,
got his priorities.
he just goes, that dude has Pokemon. It's the only guy at school that I found that has Pokemon.
Because no one has Pokemon at this game, dude. Usually you go to like colleges and you get people on like Street Pass. Like you can just see that they're in the area.
Yeah.
But like at this school, I like open it up and there's like fucking game just came out. Nothing.
Nothing.
Dry, dude. It's like prohibition on Pokemon.
Damn.
And this dude looked really geeked out too. Like,
Oh, yeah? He had
his
the fucking
tablet
uniform
open,
and
he's,
shit?
Like, fucking his laptop. I don't know. I think he was eating something.
It looked like he was eating something. He looked like a typical college dude.
Yeah.
He didn't look like a nerd though.
Yeah,
Not
he
to me.
did. Cause I seen him from the front. Cause I was looking where you were going, so I know who you were talking about. And then when you turned around to see what he was looking at, I was like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Cool. I mean, you guys had questions last time, didn't you?
No.
Yes, you did.
Well, what's different with this Pokemon game that separates it from the other ones, or what?
Just kind
Why
of
is
give an
this
intro
one
to the
like
people.
pretty
People know Pokemon.
cool? I guess.
They don't know Pokemon, but not the
The fact that they're on like the 13th game or something.
See, there we go. I don't know what game it is. What was the question again, Jerome?
What makes this new one cool? Is there any like differences between the old ones and the new ones?
Which makes this one cool, dude. This is the remake of the thing that started like the new generation of Pokemon. You know, they had Red and Blue, right? And then they had Gold and Silver. And then when they made Ruby and Sapphire, those didn't connect to they didn't backtrack. Like you couldn't ship a Pokemon from Crystal over to Ruby. So what they had to do was, this was Game Boy Advance, and they couldn't go back. So they were like, oh shit, people got real mad that they didn't want Fire. They wanted to get their fucking Charmander or something. So what they started doing was remaking those games. So that's when they remade Fire Red. That's when they later on they remade the Gold and Silver versions. And now finally 10 years later, after all that, we came full cycle to a point where like this game didn't need to be remade because it was still in the generation. Like, remember how I was saying that it was cut off, the first Game Boy Color games? This game is not cut off, so technically they didn't need to remake it.
They need the fucking money, dude.
Ruby and Sapphire, they just didn't. Yeah, I guess I don't think they need money, but this one was super anticipated, the Hoenn region, because everyone wanted the remake. But since they didn't need to do it,
You haven't said the name of the game. You just said.
I will, dude.
Okay.
I will.
No one knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's alright, because then if you just say, I tend
will.
to edit it.
yeah. So now, 10 years later, they finally remake Ruby and Sapphire. Finally, man, you ruined my train.
You ruined my train
You
of
ruined
thought.
my train. They finally remade Ruby and Sapphire, and it's just a happy thing, dude. It's finally done. This is
But if it didn't need to be made, why make it?
because it was super anticipated. Like everyone wanted this, dude. You don't know how the internet had complete memes of just like, oh, Hoenn confirmed. Like it was called Hoenn confirmed. Like people would want it. Like they would search in other games like Platinum, and then the houses have greenhouses, so that means they're gonna remake Emerald. Hoenn confirmed. That's how ridiculous it was.
Oh, wow.
The main character has a little green backpack. Hoenn confirmed, dude. But it was never confirmed. That's how because people were just waiting for it so hard, and it came so hard to a point where they stopped saying Hoenn confirmed. It's just Hoenn confirmed, and it just got more South Parky. And then when the game finally came out, it was just you don't know. This is like the second coming,
It's like
dude.
Christmas, dude.
Is
But
is the payoff that big? Like, are you playing this game and you thoroughly enjoyed it?
I'm playing it, and I'm remembering all the music. It even opens up with the animation from the old game, the first game, and I'm like,
Is it exactly like the old game?
As far as gameplay is, there's a lot of things that are different. Like certain points, like it's a lot the same. Like I'll go to a different point, and I'm like, oh, I know in this house over here I can get my Pokemon healed because I did it before. I did it 10 years ago, and I go around. I'm like, yep, sure enough, she's here. But a lot of things are different. Like a certain city, Mauville City, it's completely different. Like it's like super duper extra out. It looks nothing like what it did in the past. But it's a really good update. But they pick and choose things. It's all made better.
What's this fucking thing about, like, the Mega Evolutions? Like, why are they getting carried away with this shit? It seems so stupid.
You think it's stupid, dude?
I think it's dumb because it's unnecessary. Like, why do that?
Because it's like Digimon.
Yeah. That it's a lot of it.
People today about it, and it really is kind of unnecessary.
Superficial fucking thing. Like, you don't really need it.
But it kind of does need it. Kind of. I mean, they could have did it a different way, but that's the way they chose it. But the way they go with that is that they're giving a lot of Pokemon that people wouldn't use regularly.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Like Beedrill. Beedrill has a Mega now, but Beedrill, he was totally unusable before. Like you couldn't use him in a battle and win and expect to win. Like if you threw that in, it's like, okay, you're trying hard mode. You have a Beedrill. You have to play harder. Because it's like
it's two things.
It's a low tier Pokemon.
Two things. It's like, why have that? Okay, I was gonna say. I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
Well, let me continue. So when you give Beedrill a Mega, you go, oh, I can bring this Pokemon that people haven't been using and bring it up into the ranks with the other Pokemon so that maybe it can have a chance. It can give it a new life,
Yeah.
So people can go, oh, I want to use Beedrill, and I can use Beedrill and not be laughed at,
I two things. It's like, why I remember now. The continuity thing, like, it just doesn't make sense with Pokemon continuity.
As far as continuity goes, like it makes sense in a way that it's not permanent, so it's not something that,
I know, but they never mention any of this
I'm
stuff like
going-
in the other
I'm
ones.
going. It's not permanent, and second, you can only do it with a stone, like a certain stone that you have to find, and those stones weren't found until the last game, which was X and Y, and that was only in the Kalos region. So all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, look at this, dude! I found this shit in the ground," which is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But when you give this certain stone to a Pokemon, they get the ability to Mega Evolve.
And then if that's the case, why don't they do that for every Pokemon? Why do they pick
Because
and choose?
they have to find the stones. I mean, obviously, there's two sides of this. There's the developmental side where it's like,
Because like
okay,
man, it's just like the poster child Charizard. Like, why does he fucking suddenly get two
Well,
fucking evolutions? That's annoying,
talk
man.
about it. Obviously, there's the
Charizard
developmental.
gets 2 evolutions?
He has
Yeah.
two. Yeah, he has 2 Mega Evolutions. There's
Because
2 different
everybody
stones.
likes Charizard.
Because for the third time, there's there's production, dude. Like, obviously, this is a business. Obviously, people are gonna like Charizard. I'm surprised they didn't give Pikachu a Mega, but it's like, oh, these people want Charizard. Let's do Charizard. And then they find a way to explain that through the game. Like, okay, people want this, this, and that. How do we put it in the game to make it make sense while still giving everything giving people the thing that they want? Because obviously, if they're gonna do Megas, oh, dude, I want a Mega of Charizard. If you don't do it, you're gonna get asked that, and you're gonna get like rocks thrown at you if you don't do it. And it's cool that they did too. Like, they even have to. Nothing else has 2 but Charizard. Why
Which
they
is
chose to give them 2?
lame.
I don't think it's lame.
Because they're like picking favorites, and it makes me feel bad. Like that
Charizard's a favorite.
I know, but the company shouldn't be like fucking pandering to the people. They should be like, okay, I'm gonna make this more fair. If your point was that they're doing these evolutions to make it more
Make
fair,
money.
I mean, a lot of things. That's kind of. I mean, a company should pander to the people they're trying to sell for. Because I know if they didn't do anything I wanted them, I wouldn't pay for it. That's kind of like these movies, the fucking Marvel movies. Like, they don't do anything I really like, so I don't really like paying for them.
I get that, but at the same time, we're only hypothesizing. We don't really know, but you assume that they're doing this to make the gameplay for lower tier Pokemon fair.
That's not a summation, dude. That's all the Pokemon they choose are like completely ass.
All right,
before this thing.
sure. But okay,
They're complete ass.
but if
dude.
that were to make sense, why
Except for,
give
like, Charizard.
why give certain Pokemon the ability to do that?
Weedle has one, Beedrill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then why give certain amount? Why not just make it an even thing between for all Pokemon? And I know it's like a business because like I get it. It might be a business thing because they only reveal a few every game.
Yeah, I feel like I want.
So
them
they're
to do
milking it?
everyone,
Yeah,
but
and everyone
the
does.
business side is that they're
You
trying to
do a few at
know,
every game.
Yeah, they don't want to fucking burn it out. They don't want to do it for everyone because number one, you have to find someone to.
They're not
create
trying
it.
to burn it out. They're on like the fucking 15th game.
But this is the new thing in the
There's-
15th game.
They're milking this.
They're
fucking
milking
thing
it
for
pretty
not
bad.
everything it's got.
They're not
They
milking
really
it like
are.
Call of Duty though.
They're milking it just like Call of Duty.
No, because they don't come up with a game.
Mega
every
Evolution's
year.
a fact is that, dude. Like the fact that
But
there is Mega Evolutions.
every game that comes out is exactly the same.
No, it's not exactly the same.
It's the same.
The series are the same because it's a series. That's like saying, oh, Borderlands is the same because every game you hunt a vault. When it's obviously not. But you could say that, and I couldn't be wrong.
But
Yeah,
the fact that it's not
yeah,
the fact that it's the same is not the problem. The fact that they're
It
like
is.
sure. I mean,
Is it the problem with Borderlands?
Borderlands has 3 games, not 15.
But if they made 15 games, which is look, they're on their way, dude. They're making their 4th one, or it's assumed, and everyone has had the same.
And
ending
even
goal.
that game isn't the same.
But
The one that they're making now is not the same.
But everything you can say about Borderlands is what you can say about Pokemon. Like, oh, in Pokemon you defeat gyms and do the Elite Four. In Borderlands you hunt a vault. But those are like those are
the idea,
skeletons.
the idea.
Yeah,
it's the
but
DNA
yeah.
of the thing, and
But they've only made 3, which the third one they did something different when they're put in space and they have these
They didn't hunt a vault.
And I didn't say that.
But
I
did they
said
hunt a vault?
the gameplay was different because of that.
The gameplay wasn't different though.
It was.
It was-
because
it's
of the
still a
Oz
shooter.
kits and they fucking like.
But what if I just said, oh, they just have a bunch of guns that are like all the other games, and they just have like, it's the same concept. Like, it's the literal exact same concept. If you like Borderlands for everything it has, Pokemon has the exact like.
Yeah, it's
Borderlands
just-
is a
But
direct
Borderlands
child.
didn't make like 15 fucking games.
well,
which is my
Pokemon's been
point.
around longer, so
It's been but they're on their way
And they're still doing the same shit.
because it works.
Well, it's like The Simpsons. It's like you have like this idea that people are really relating to. Why change it? So it's that whole idea, if it's not broken, why change it? They only add on to it to make it more interesting. So when it does feel stale, you always have something that kind of refreshes it. Like, oh, now we have Mega Evolutions. This is kind of refreshing.
And maybe even if they were to change it, I probably still wouldn't care for it, and because it's Pokemon.
Well,
but then
you know what? Like, I love Borderlands, but what specifically do you think is the same about Pokemon? Like, just
fucking like, I don't know. It's fucking you get these 3 Pokemon. You fucking go, and you run into every kind of fucking creature in just grass.
Mm-hmm.
The formula's the same.
Yeah,
the formula's the same, and that's for every
fucking...
game. Every game has a formula, but the way they disguise the formula, they coat the formula, is always different. That's why I bring up Borderlands, because Borderlands has the same concept, where it's like, you shoot shit, you hunt, you do missions, you get money, you get better guns, and you find the vault. Your end goal is to find something, get more money. And the same thing with Pokemon. It's like, oh, get Pokemon, get money, find badges, beat the Elite Four. But it's coded differently. Like you said, in Borderlands, they're on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
In Pokemon, you know, they're on like different continents, and like they have different like gangs all the time, and like those gangs are like super influential as opposed like for what they want in the world, like
different Team Rockets.
Team Rocket is like a mafia, whereas in this game they're like the bandits are like they're trying to change the literal geography of the world, and that's like the whole story revolves around.
I don't know, but maybe if Borderlands made like 15 games, I'd probably lose interest after like fucking 12.
You probably wouldn't, because maybe because that's where Pokemon does good, where they add in stuff like Mega Evolutions to keep it fresh.
No, the thing that keeps this fresh, just like fucking Call of Duty, is the fact that it goes beyond.
Not fresh, dude.
No. It goes beyond the actual story, like the competitive play that you get, the competitions and stuff. Does Borderlands have competitive play?
Not
it's
really.
like
and then that Pokemon has it. That's where it really shines. Like, you just get through the fucking story just to get through it, but like you live for the competitive play, the stuff that the interaction between like players and the community of people that play, which I get it, which is why you keep doing it and why Pokemon is so beloved. And it hasn't gone downhill. It isn't like people stop buying it. People continue to buy it. The only gimmick that I'm fucking calling him out for is this Mega Evolution, because that's what it is. It's a fucking gimmick. And I love Pokemon. And I don't play the games, but like I want it to be around forever. But the only thing I'm calling him out for, because it's so retarded, is this fucking thing. Because you can straight out tell, like, they're just trying to make money. They're really trying to make money.
Was they're milking it. That's where this really came
and
from. And it's true.
Yeah, they definitely. Why not milk it, dude? Like, if you had a good idea, dude, you keep making it too. Especially if you could get to a 13th. I don't even know how many games it's been. They have a ton of games. It might be on like 50th game. But if you can even make it to 12, make it to 13, why not? Shit, keep going. Obviously, you figure out that a series is failing if you even get to it like by 3.
Yeah, well, it's that, and like, it's just a portable game. Like, to me, it's like a phone game. And I really get that effect more because the only one I ever played all the way through was on a fucking phone.
Well, these paved the way for phone games, dude.
It doesn't matter. It's just that's what it is.
That's what it is.
I don't want to play phone games.
It's a portable game. It's a portable game.
And that's why it never interested me.
This game
sucks. It never interested me.
This game sucks on a system, dude. Like, they made XD and Gala. I think they might be the same. Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD. I sat through them all. I loved them, but as someone sitting in my house playing it on GameCube, like, it was weak, dude.
The charm of it is that you can play it on a train.
Yeah,
you can play it at the laundry.
Because you can go and find someone else that you have no idea who it is. Like, today, I was in fucking...
The dude at Subway.
The dude at Subway. You're like, oh, that guy's Pokemon. You can find that dude. You're not tied down to right here. Even though you can have online play, it's not the same as seeing this dude face to face and going, oh, let's battle, dude. My Pokemon versus your Pokemon. I was at community college once. I was at Southwest, and I met this other dude through Ashley, our friend, remember? I met this other dude through Ashley, and he had Pokemon. I was like, oh, you want to get wrecked? And, like, just, like, that spark that you can have with people, like, a real spark that I can just, like, look in your eyes and go, let's battle, and, like, someone wins and loses right there is like, it's you want that.
It makes it sound like a really nice thing, like, oh, you connect with people, but when he does it, he's like, you just got fucking beat, asshole.
Exactly, like, and that's cool, because it's like, you make bonds with people, and, like,
but to be fair, that's what the actual players in the fucking thing
in the game are. Like. But you can do that with a ton of people because that guy was like he was cool and like I met people that become my friends through this game. Like my real life friends, like I could touch their face.
I guess
I could touch their face because that's all you really want to do.
it's a fucking phone. It's a phone game to me. I can't.
Are phone games bad?
That's what it is.
It is. They are.
Well, hold up. Let's not deem it to just a phone game because phone games are kind of inherently bad. Like they're free and they try and suck you out for money all the time in like microtransactions.
Well, this is one you're paying a lot of money for.
You only pay $40 for this, but you get a full game. You don't pay to play the game. Well, I'm worded that wrong. You do pay to play the game because you buy the game. But when you buy the game,
Is there a DLC?
not really. I've never seen it. I mean, you can like find stuff, but it's not. No, they don't have DLC. They have like events. And it's kind of like DLC, but you know it's usually free. You don't buy it.
Oh.
But
Because
phone game is now
just something
play
you
Farmville.
you fucking take around. You play in like 2 seconds. You just fucking whip it out because you're
That's
bored.
a portable
like,
game.
There's nothing you can get into and
That's
just be like
that's
you
a
can't
portable
fucking let
game.
go.
That's a portable
I think
game.
the way that
And
I
phones
think
aren't portable.
A phone game specifically is a whole different thing. Dude. You have to play a real a game that was made on a phone in this time where phones were good for gaming. Like Pokemon, even though you can put it on your phone like through a ROM or something, it's not a phone game. It wasn't meant to be on a phone. Even Tetris, even though they port it to like your phone and there's
I'm
a
just
whole
being really
Tetris
general
app.
about it. I guess fine. I won't use the word phone. A portable game.
'cause that's
And
like
they're
different.
if it helps,
Yeah.
if it helps, think of Pokemon like poker, in the way that it's a stupid game. If you play it on your phone, it's stupid, but like it's competitive, and people try to get good at it because there's an entire community of people that play poker. There are competitions. There are people that try to get better at their game. They try to there's like this level of trying to improve. You meet people. There are people that are better than you. Possibly you can win money if you bet. But it's about the competitive play.
You could do that with a lot of things. You could do that with Call of Duty.
Right, but you do this with Pokemon.
Yeah.
But that's
Like
a fact where he said it was stupid to play on the phone.
Who said that?
He said it. Like, if you play poker on your phone where it's not meant to be played, it's not fun. Which is totally true. Like,
Was that what you were trying to say?
I said
Yeah.
yeah, and
But if you
think of it
play
as poker in that
but
sense.
if you
That
play
way.
it, like, where you're supposed to be, like, with someone else over there and, like, play it.
You have the whole deal, the fucking like table, and like the way it's supposed to be played. You have a lot more fun.
That's the way I've seen it, and it never caught my attention because of it, and so I never play them. And I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I don't like
Pokemon's cool, dude.
All right, let's get out of here.
Wait. Let's get the recap. Let's play a real phone game and judge it for next time. And let's.
I already
judge the
said it.
differences.
All right, fine. If you want to pigeonhole fucking me saying it's a phone game, if you want to just use that one detail, portable game. Portable games suck.
Okay, we
Okay.
just don't like portable games. Although, all right, final thought. I think the only game worth buying for portable is Pokemon. Everything, I'll agree with you, they do usually suck. But
Yeah, like I really don't know why fucking was this thing called
Because it's a
fucking
turn.
Nintendo DS? I don't know why it was created.
Because
It
you know
fucking
what?
sucks.
It's
all
a,
the games on it are crap. Pokemon is the only one that's been keeping it alive, I think.
it is. This is
And-
the only. This is the flagship, dude. Without this game, a DS, a Game Boy Advance.
it's like a card game because it's it's like turn based.
I've never liked turn-based games.
Maybe
like
that's what
I told
it is.
him, like when fucking what was it, Final Fantasy, when you're like on a binge of you had to pass it. I said, oh fuck, I can't do it. It sucks.
Well,
like,
these games, because they're not graphically interesting, they're more about story. They're all about like reading something and getting like something out of it.
and the story sucked. Like even
You
the one
don't
I
play
played,
them.
the one I played. That's why I said the one I played. The story was like crap.
You play Pokemon though. That's not like that's the end game. That's like the competitive thing. It was made for people for that specific interaction where you find someone and go, "Hey, let me see what you have." You interact with someone. It was more than just a game that you played on a TV. You went and found somebody and played it with them. You know,
What?
All
Pokemon.
right, say the tag.
All right, that about wraps it up for us here at the Tables Podcast.
You don't have to stand up, but you can't sit here.
You said it way too loud.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say it.
You don't have to stand up, but you can't sit here.
Peace.